he put together a solid game plan 2 weeks in a row. So big. But overall, I didn't complain too much. We just need to be the Bills. This defense performed at an exceptional level against very good teams.
This was our third win in a row. Very happy.
So good.
I just realized with this background I have hair.
What?
So I just realized with this background I have hair.
All right, everyone. It's episode 5, Mile High Minute. So we took a break last week. So we went from the high of that Raiders game, which it was a very lovely high and a high score too, to the low of this weekend against the Chargers. So, all right, let's start out with our little mini caps. We'll start with Steve. So what were your thoughts over the last 2 weeks?
I think we have learned what this team is right now, which is that we can play well, but we cannot currently beat teams with good defenses. If you look at all the teams that we've lost to, they've been teams with good defenses, and we just haven't been able to quite pull that off. So, yeah. What do you think, Gavin?
We did pull it off against the Jets miraculously. We shouldn't have, but we did. They've got a good defense. We're a young team, man, when we're trying to figure it out. I saw today we were the third youngest team in the NFL, and I believe we were one of the top 5 oldest teams last year. So we're in a bit of transition. You're seeing a bunch of guys who blew shots, in the Raiders game, who got shots of redemption in the Chargers game, and they're bouncing back. I felt that Bo was due for a bit of a regression because our record, 3 in a row wins, it didn't seem like this team is that good. And I think we proved it. It was a bit of a trap game home. I think our confidence was a little too high. And I think we got a little bit outcoached and outplayed. And we had a little bit of comeuppance coming. But I think it's good. We needed it. We need to get the the young kids back in the program. We got a lot of injuries coming back now, and I think Sean was probably himself looking forward through to this game as well. So I'm anticipating a bounce back this week.
I agree. I mean, we are a young team, and we've got a rookie quarterback. Most of our wide receivers, most of our offense is kind of young. I mean, by young, I mean less than like 4 years experience. Our defense is our strongest part, but we're 3-3. And like you said, like we shouldn't have beat the Jets, but we did. There's some games the 3 games we've lost by 1 score. So, and we've been in the game until the end. I feel like I'm channeling Todd right now. Like, we were in it. Our guys were in it. They had the spark. They're trying. I think we just have to be patient. And there's going to be good games, and there's going to be bad games. And there's going to be games that we're screaming at Bo Nix to throw the ball, and there's going to be games that we're screaming at him because he threw the ball. So that's my thought on it. It just kind of sucks to go from doing so well against the Raiders, which also shows you that they're a team in disarray right now, to the Chargers. But Gavin, you kind of said it in the chat that we have with our friends, and I agreed. I was scared of this game against the Chargers. It concerned me. So, all right. Well,
I will just add that.
What?
Actually, we'll get to it when we get to the good, bad, and the ugly.
I was just going to say, let's just lead that right on into the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's just start with the good. So, Gavin, you're good from the game. Or the games.
I think you alluded to it a little bit. I can't – we had, again, no business being in that game, but I cannot believe that game came down to a final game. I mean, we were losing 23-0 at the end of the first half or beginning of the second half. So second quarter. Yeah, I that's kind of the only shining star to me,
Mhm.
really. I mean, Bo made some incredible jaw-dropping plays. That one that he scrambled, where Bowles was sitting there like a statue watching him run around the field. That was amazing and awesome. And you get a few of those little bright flashes, but just the fact that this team does have fight and we actually came back in there, whether the Chargers gave up or gassed out, who knows? It's a lot of garbage time, but it made for an entertaining game, which is no stranger here as a Broncos fan. So,
Yeah.
what about you, Steve?
So
Steve, the
I think
believer.
the believer.
Are you
I
a
think
believer?
still a believer. Actually, if we want to go back to the Raiders game, I think that just further evidence that my belief is justified. But if we're talking about the Chargers game, I think it's that after losing PS2 early on, that the defense did a good job of recovering from that. It took us to get through the first half was bad, and I think it's largely due to him being out of it. But they managed to figure out a way to sort of stiffen up and adjust to that, and did quite well in the second half, getting some important stops that had that 2-point conversion gone through, then maybe we're in a better position at the end of the game.
Terrible.
I think there's a lot. And I think there was a lot of we're almost there kind of moments that we could have had it go the other direction, and ultimately good teams are the ones that are on the winning side of those things. But I think we're closer to where we want to be than further away. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. My good is not actually about the games themselves. It's that we did get some good injury report news. Browning and McGlinchey are both going to be back tomorrow.
Yeah,
so we're getting a little bit of our line back, and we're getting another one of our edge rushers together, which I think is good because we'll talk more about it when we talk about the Saints game. But I think getting both of those guys back are going to be, I think they're going to help us with it, hopefully, with this game coming up on Thursday. So, all right. We are going to go to the bad.
All right, I'll go. Will Lutz's onside kicks. Christ, he got 2 chances, and they still, both of them didn't go 10 yards. And that little helicopter thing, what's up with that? They've been practicing that, I guess, once or twice. It was terrible. That was bad. That was real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it comes down to you having to get an onside kick, you're not going to win that game. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
My bad was the 2-point, trying to go for the 2 points. I understand why they did it. Just what they did when they tried to go for it just made no sense to me.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
Not a good play call.
No, none at all. So,
I mean, Chargers weren't going to see it coming because it wasn't a good play. So, yeah. Yeah, for me, I think it's just losing a division rival, right? It's I think we, ultimately, I mean, are we going to win the division? I'm going to go with probably not. But I hate when we do that. So yeah, that's my take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just
we have live comments coming in.
Yes, we do have live comments coming in. For those of you that don't know, I'm gonna pop it up. This is Sean Spencer. He's the guy that got me started on doing all of these football shows, and he's kind of the little mastermind behind the group that's behind some of these Let's Talk Football. So I try not to hold it against him that he's a Commanders fan. At least he's not a Patriots fan. That's all I can say. In his next comment. We beat the Raiders. We are going to try and beat the Chargers. So there's just so much that was bad in the last game that it was unbelievable. But we're going to go into our next one. And the ugly.
There's so many So many damn things. For one, that concussion on PS2, that was not good. That was ugly. It was weird because you couldn't really see the angle of what happened at the time, but yeah, he got tossed like two of there for a second. So I hope he's okay. He's going to be out this week, probably for the best, and he's got a mini bye to heal up. So
he's got 10 days after this, so he'll have time. Yeah,
right.
So,
yeah,
Steve, you're ugly.
Well, I could have done the 2-point conversion, or I could have done the onside kick, or I could have done the PS2 and concussion protocol. There's so many choices. It was just I think just fundamentally the vibes in this game were not good. Like, it was just like, I came in feeling good into the game, and it was just like all kinds of, like, there's just like a weird vibe in the air. Things weren't going well. I just was in a bad mood about it, and it was just like, and then the second half, it was better, but call the first half the ugly.
Oof. Yeah, I was hoping for that patented Broncos, 24 unanswered points in the second half against the Chargers deal, and it was looking promising for a second there, but
yeah. Well, if he hadn't gotten out of the end zone, it would have been that would have been the end of the drive. We wouldn't even gotten close to even being able to sniff catching up with them. With Bo Nix in the end zone when he got out, or it would have been a safety. That was pretty ugly to me. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again: our tight ends can't block.
What tight ends?
I mean, essentially, yes. Like, Dulcich is tall and big, but he can't block to save his life. And Troutman, okay, fine, Sean, you wanted Troutman. What has he done? Mm-hmm. He can't block. None of our tight ends can block. And it's not even like they're trying and getting run over. It's like, oops, hold on, run past me.
Yeah. They're invisible. They're completely invisible.
They're not creating enough time with their blockers for the wide receivers and everybody to get their routes through. The only thing that's not making this a total mess is that the offensive line, like we've talked about, has been able to keep it together. So, yeah, Sean's complimenting on our throwback jerseys, and that's a conversation that happened in the bar. There's everybody. Steve likes them. I love them. I think we all love them. But the question is,
one is the Raiders game. You can't deny it.
Do we have them all the time, or do we only bring them out once in a while? And I'm still on the once in a while because they're so cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
But I do want the throwback helmet to be 24, to be the helmet from now on. I love the old school D. But
but there's so much, as old school Bronco fans, there's so much baggage with those uniforms that a lot of the newer fans don't realize. But when those got left in the dust, it was certainly for the best. So it's good, enough time has passed. I think we can pull it back up, but that still makes it special. If they were our uniforms all the time, then they wouldn't be anything cool. So I love them to death. They're amazing. They look so good. Whatever orange they picked is like the perfect electric orange in the sun. Mm-hmm. Like, man, we were not losing that game in those uniforms.
Right. Yep. Yeah, and I even like the new ones that they wore at the Chargers game. I like the orange and the blue pants. I thought that looked really sharp together. So,
I do love the orange.
I know,
Sean's saying he loves those jerseys. Yeah, because you beat us in a Super Bowl with those jerseys, Sean.
That's exactly.
So, yes, we don't talk about that
memory
at all.
Which I forgot.
So we wouldn't have to give him that prop for that, but. Yeah, he loves to bring that up when we see each other. All right, so then
East Coast family, they're all Redskins, Commanders fans. They bring it up every chance they get.
Yeah, yep. And the D, I mean, you have it behind you. Steve's got it, and somewhere I have it behind me here, and I have it up on our thing. That old school D is pretty sharp. I like it. But I also know why we switched. And I do think our current horse mascot that they have, I like that. It's abstract and
logo. Yeah.
Logo, and it's cool. So I think they did a good job with the uniforms. I think people see they didn't look this. They look really different on TV and in person than they do in the renderings, in the pictures we saw.
I gotta say, out of all the combos we've done, I think the orange with the blue pants is probably my least favorite combo, and maybe that's why we lost. That's probably why we lost, honestly.
We'll probably never use that combo again.
That's a throw off the pods.
Let's just shelve that combo.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next game. We're going to talk about a game against the Saints. There's a lot of stars that are aligning for us in this game.
Oh my God. All season.
Like last week, I was concerned with us playing 4 days later, but holy moly, I feel bad for Nicole. She's one of the girls she's on the Ladies Takeover show. She's a Saints fan. I mean, half her team is gone now.
Yeah, it's bad.
So
no Olave, no
Olave, no Shaheed.
Yeah.
And no Taysom Hill. All three of those guys are gone.
And Camaro was on like the injured reserve. He's not 100%.
3 injuries.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And they're starting Spencer Ware, Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
You know, you and I
Browning back.
Wanting to kind of, if we didn't go quarterback with our pro Nick's pick, we would have been okay with him going Brock Bowers and that. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm really interested to see how he does specifically against this defense. I think we're going to eat him for lunch because he was just a third string quarterback this whole time, and now they're throwing him and giving him the limelight. So,
and his number one receiver is like a third string receiver.
Right. Yeah.
So he doesn't have a lot going for him. So Sertan being out this game is actually I think we'll be okay. I think Moss should be okay playing the number one cornerback receiver. And Wallace is back too.
Yeah.
Levi Wallace is back.
Mathis back too.
Yep.
Yeah. The challenge last week was happening in the flow of the game, right? It's okay, well, wait, now he's on the other side of the field. What are we doing? And it's like creates a lot of chaos. Whereas now it's like you've been practicing, I would say all week, but you don't get the full week. But you've been practicing at least, assuming that was going to happen. Vance Joseph loves to disguise his blitzes and hit you from any direction. That is not what I want to face if I am a rookie quarterback on my debut. So I picked the hashtag Big Easy because I think this is going to be an easy one. Not to curse us by saying that you can punish me next week if that did curse us, but I think we're going to be okay. We even have it on a Thursday night, so we don't have to worry about them like being there over the weekend and getting hammered and then doing rough on Sunday. Like, no, they're on Wednesday night. Who cares? Nothing going on there. Well, it's always something.
Yeah, and I popped this up because of Sean's comment about the Bucs, and we got to the Bucs. And we got to Mayfield. So this might be a game. I think the defense is gonna eat in this game, and they're gonna have some fun. Like you said, Steve. I mean, the problem was, and we saw it. Like our guys mostly do man-to-man coverage. That's kind of how Vance Joseph does it. He doesn't do like areas.
He's got the corners to do it.
Yeah. Well, because we got PS2 on one side, and he roams. Like he's always roaming around and stuff. So in the middle of the game, it's hard to make those kind of personnel switches and having everybody understand where they're supposed to be now. And even Riley Moss admitted that during an interview after the game. He said, you know what, it was a little difficult in the game, but we figured it out.
And, even like for Joseph, it's just like the rhythm of how he calls his defense is completely different when it's not like you just got one guy who's like, that receiver's not here anymore. We can move on to the rest of them.
Right.
Yeah.
I just hope this game can turn into start something with the offense. And because
Carolina after this, right? Like we can go on a bit of a run here, hopefully.
Right. Because Saints defense is not the greatest. So we might be able to get something moving, get something going. So hopefully, and then we have the Panthers. So
I'm a little worried about Javonte, guys.
I am too.
I think he's going to be given the bench a lot this game. I don't think Sean's happy with him. The fumble, just the production. I think these first 6 games have been his debut and saying, hey, Sean needs to know if he's back and if he's viable to go with. And there was a glimpse there, the last couple games, but he kind of just disappeared. I mean, everybody disappeared last week, but he has to come out blazing. But I don't think they're going to make him a huge part of the game plan this week. I don't know. I'm a little worried about Javonte.
In some defense of him, like our offensive line was pretty banged up, and ultimately, one of the big changes that happened when we started doing better was Palczewski getting in at right tackle, and that seemed to really kind of gel things a bit. So didn't have him, didn't have our starting center, so we got Forsyth in there who did okay. We've got Hurts as our backup tackle, so it's like now we're going to get McGlinchey back. It sounds like so. We'll see what happens, but I do think that Estime is definitely going to get more looks now that he's back from IR. So we'll see.
I agree.
Yeah, didn't he play? I thought he was in for a couple plays last week.
Yeah, he was in a little bit, but
yeah, they're getting him back in.
Yeah, I agree. I still don't. I'm not 100% on Lombardi, but it just, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. He doesn't seem to be calling the plays. It seems to be Sean calling the plays right now. So maybe it's time to switch it up and go to him. I don't know. We'll see. No, hell no. Sean would never do that for this game. But later in the season, if we go on a 2 or 3 game losing streak, then I wouldn't be surprised if they switch it up. We'll see. We'll see where Sean's head's at there.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, we make them short and sweet.
Can we talk about that amazing Sutton touchdown catch? Like, holy shit. He comes out and just dazzles sometimes. I was waiting for one of those. He did a lot of that with Russ last season, but man, that was spectacular. He can find the back of that end zone line like nobody else.
Yeah. Like he's not quite as fast as he once was, but if you get that ball anywhere near him, he will get it.
Yeah.
He knows where his feet need to be when he's on the edge. He knows how to keep his toes in and all of that. And the first one, the interception, I mean, Sutton was there. It was just way too high. Yeah. Bo threw it high.
Way high.
And I was watching Tim Jenkins and he broke it down. You could see he came off his back foot. He wasn't in the right position. And so he threw it. It was high and it got tipped. And that's the reason why that one went there. And then Bulls it was Minerts that got called for the holding call on that beautiful one that I forget if it was Sutton or if it was Mims. I think it was Mims was the one who caught.
Yeah.
Oh, it was?
No, I just said it was soul crushing.
God, yeah. It was soul crushing. It was like, yes, we're getting something going, and we get a holding call. Yeah. So the holding calls have to stop.
Yeah.
Bulls 72, 10 yards. It's back to his rookie season again.
Yeah. We'll see if Bulls get signed again next year. I don't know. I've got my doubts.
All right. Well, the trade deadline is November 5th. So, is there anyone you think that will be on the trading block and that could go somewhere else? I'm hearing some names, but I would like to see what you guys think.
I think you mean that the Broncos would trade?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to look at QB hungry teams.
Do you really think anyone wants Stidham?
We've got a couple quarterbacks to get rid of. Maybe Javonte. I don't know.
I've heard Javonte's name put up there. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I doubt that we will be trading anybody. I mean, the reality is, it's like Javonte. Why do we want to trade him? Because he's not doing that well. So why would anybody trade for him? I mean, like if we're on a losing streak through the trade deadline, okay, maybe you think about things a little differently. But I at this point I feel like you're the whole point of this season really is once again making sure that Bo Nix is the guy you want to quarterback. I don't think a lot of change is going to help that. So just let it ride.
Agreed.
Not let's ride.
Good.
To be clear, I said let it ride. These are not the same.
That's still going to be my segue into Sean's question, and I think we should talk about this. Did you hear Russell Wilson's probably going to get the start this week in Pittsburgh? So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, fuck around and find out, really. That's my thought on it. Yeah, go for it.
That sums it up. That's my thought.
Yeah, your quarterback's hot right now. You guys are winning games. Like, yeah, go ahead and put Russ in. That sounds
Roll him in there. I mean, like, I heard this, and I'm like, we kind of talked about it on Tuesday in the roundtable. I was like, what's the point? Yeah. It's not like you're paying him $20 million this year to play for you. And if you don't have that guy playing, you're losing money. We're paying for him. So sit him on the bench because Fields is doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's not doing well. He's doing okay.
Doing well enough.
Yeah, I mean, like, let me be clear. If I was running that team, would I put Russell Wilson in at quarterback? No. But that's because I'm a Broncos fan and I remember things.
I mean
they're 4-2 with him. Like, not many teams are. There's a crap ton of teams that are 4-2. I don't think there's who's 5-1. I don't know if anybody's 5-1. So, like, that's in the top of the league right now. So why? Like, to your point, Tina,
it feels like it's a real good way to diminish Justin Fields. Like, I mean, and hey, who knows? Maybe that's maybe Fields psychology is such, that, okay, well, you want to kind of test him a little bit and put somebody else in there to press him. Like, I don't know, but it seems a weird choice to me.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. Like I said, 4-2, and Sean also mentioned, like, there's a lot of, and you said it, there's a lot of 4-2. There's a couple. I don't know that there's anyone that's 5-1. So is this Tomlin just trying to see what Russell has left, or because who are the Steelers playing? I looked that up earlier this week, and
maybe he's just fucking around and finding out.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Seriously, like, because I mean, Fields, he didn't have the game that he had the weeks before, but he had a decent game, and Steelers defense is decent. So I just don't understand why Tomlin's doing this.
I don't either. It's very un-Tomlin-y of him, but
we'll see how Wilson does. I mean, maybe he gets pulled at the half after.
I was going to say,
he might last up for a while.
After his fourth sack.
At least he's 30 pounds lighter. He might be able to get away from the sack.
Do you know how nice it is to have a quarterback who just gets sacked all the goddamn time? I mean, there was that flash in the Chargers game where Nix turns his back to the line and is like running the wrong way, and I'm like, oh Jesus, don't! And then he just turns around, throws it away. I'm like, thank you. Why is it so hard?
Yeah. I will say that's one thing I do like about Bo Nix is his scrambling ability. There were a couple of times in the first half that I was like, oh my God, only because it's you. He goes one way and then he goes the other way. And then but then he can also pick up a first down if we need him to. Yeah. So, all right.
It's got those LA legs. I want to talk about real quick about how great it was to get a 3rd round pick for Jerry Jeudy when all the, that's all they got for Devontae Adams too. It was a 3rd round pick. How they had to give that up. So,
Lord,
that's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Let me go look at Jerry Jeudy's contract and see how that's going for them.
Well, he's like wide receiver number 1 now that Amari's gone, right?
Yeah. Well, he's still on the Browns.
He re-signed. He re-signed like a 3-year deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was all guaranteed. The Browns are terrible.
They're so dumb.
Yeah, his contract's just nonsense.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
He loves throwing away money.
I mean, come on. That whole jet situation just burns my buttons. And Mr. Rogers, or as I started calling him, Yurt Boy, just needs to go back to. I don't know. But the Raiders are in disarray.
Oh,
That's
God bless.
to be done.
they
But I don't
continue
know.
to be in disarray.
If they can just ship Max Crosby off to Detroit, that would be fantastic.
Would you take him?
Max Crosby?
Yeah.
In a heartbeat. That guy's a beast. He's unbelievable. I'd be so glad.
He's mostly a beast against us.
No, he's out there. But now that Hutchinson got injured in Detroit, I think man, they're really hurting for edge rushers. So they'd be really stoked to have him. I don't think they have any capital, especially. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Be interesting.
That would actually be an interesting trade. Is Crosby, because his contract's actually not that bad, and and the Raiders are kind of hurting. So who knows?
Oh, yeah. They need to tank for Shedeur or whatever they are. I mean, they're.
I think they're going to. I'm going to put this up because Steve's the one that just looked for it. What is his contract for Crosby?
So he's getting paid. His cap hit right now is $30 million, and then it goes 28 and 24 the 2 following years. So that's not too bad.
And he's outside his rookie contract, right?
Oh,
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So they could renegotiate that and kind of move it if it's needed to. He would be a decent get. I don't know that he would necessarily fit in, but we'll see. But that was going to be my segue. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the owners committee approved Mr. Tom Brady as a minority partner in ownership of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah. If Tom Brady loves wasting his fortune. And so if he wants to back that morally and financially bankrupt team, go for it, Tom. That's
well,
great.
I think the money partner is the one who put most of the money in. Tom and Richard Seymour probably only put in a certain percentage of it because it's Nightbridge, I think is the name of the private equity firm that bought
What's he going to put in? $50 million, something like that? Drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
They're going to help him pick the next quarterback. And there's all these photos of him with Shedeur Sanders and all this. And so he's going to try to lure that. But, John Elway tried to do the same thing. How did that work out?
Yep. I agree.
With the young guys. Obviously, he got Peyton Manning. So, that's different. But rookie quarterback, sometimes if you're in it, you're too far in it to really know.
Yeah, but I do think Mark Davis needs some help and
hell yeah,
pull him off the ledge that we can do. But yeah, we'll see. What I love is all the restrictions that are on Tom Brady, considering his job as an announcer. He can't go to production meetings. He can't go and watch the practices and all that stuff. And then he also can't say anything bad about any team when he's on the air or the refs or anything. So it's you got your sports job, but you can't really do half the stuff you need to do in order to do your job on air.
Yeah.
So
that's weird. It's a weird dynamic.
Well, they had to. It was the only. First, it wasn't getting through because Davis, being Davis, was trying to give him a 10% ownership for a 15% of the value of. So if it was $100 million, he was only paying $15 million. And the finance committee said, no.
I mean,
we're not devaluing it just to get you as an owner.
Yeah. And what are the Raiders worth? $5.5 billion, maybe $6 billion now. I mean, what did the Commanders go for, Sean? You can tell us that.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
It was five. It was 5.5, something like that. So it'd probably go for $6 billion. So yeah.
Yeah.
Right. 10% of $6 billion. Tom ain't got that kind of money.
No. Well,
Very
that's,
good
I
few
think they
people
were
do.
trying, and I didn't know this, but him and Davis are actually partners, I think, in a women's basketball association and something else too.
Ugh.
So they're partners in a lot of things. But Sean also just under 6 billion.
Yeah.
So, okay. He also mentioned something too, and we've kind of talked about this, and I want to answer this because I think we all know what the answer is. We're not going to get a high pick to get Travis Henry.
No way. He's gonna go number 2 overall. He'll go number 2.
Why
I would love it.
why would we need him?
I would love it.
Why?
I mean, because he's good. He's probably the best quarterback in the draft.
Well, he wouldn't get on the starting lineup right now. Have you noticed? I mean, we have.
Maybe.
We have
he gave Motts a run for his money.
Yeah.
And
As
we
much
could
as I
trade
like
Motts.
having the current Jason Sehorn,
Or move
Travis
it
Let's
in.
just put it this way: if we had the draft capital to get him, we've got much better places to spend it.
Yeah, we really do. Yeah.
yeah,
It's not our
that's
top
true.
We're
But I love
super-
how he's like, I want to come to Denver. I want to go to Denver. I want to stay here. And it's like,
Oh yeah,
dude, we can't get you.
we'll get
Yeah,
us.
we're
We'll
not
get him
gonna
on his
be
next
that
contract after PS2 retires. It'll be fine.
So, all right. Anything else, guys?
I'm good.
My
That's
time
it.
is your time.
Looking forward to tomorrow. It's good to have a primetime game.
Yeah. I heard somebody say it's going to be a typical Thursday night football game. I
Yeah.
was like, thank you very much.
Well, there's no middle ground. It's either the most terrible sports you've ever seen in the planet, or it comes down to the wire. There's no in between. So hopefully it's not the former.
Not a snooze fest. It's
Uh,
0-0 into the fourth quarter.
I was snake bitten by that Colts Broncos game a few years ago. I think it was like the worst, not just because I was a Broncos fan. It was just
Colts always screw us up somehow. It's just
Worst
there's just some
sporting
weird
event
magic they have.
ever televised. It was so bad.
Manning or non-Manning Colts teams, they always manage to hurt us somehow.
It's so easy to go to Indy to watch a game, and it is never a good idea to go to Indy to watch a game.
Hey, preseason was fun. I went to the preseason game there.
Well, yeah, you did.
That was a great time. It's a cool stadium.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it is. So,
All right.
all righty. Well, good show.
Cool.
I enjoyed it. Hopefully we have something better to say next week.
yes.
And
We need to
we
go
can
like
talk-
every time we win, it needs to be the good, the great, and the better, or the awesome, or something like that.
Yeah. I think the team needs these 10 days to kind of maybe get back some people that we need to get back,
Yeah.
and pushing towards
Carolina.
I had a mental block just go right up as I was thinking, as we push towards the end of the season and stuff, because we play the Chiefs right after we play the Panthers. So
Ravens.
Yeah.
that's
And then
going to be
Chiefs. So it's a
gonna be
great stretch, and we will crush them all.
Yeah, November.
and
Ryan,
then we hit the
That'll be rough.
second half, and it doesn't get any better.
No.
Who are we? I think we play the AFC East. Well, Miami's in shambles. Patriots.
Yeah.
We already played the Jets. So
I'm ready to go
please
now.
do, Sean. Please do soften up Carolina for us. So I read something interesting, and I was going to tell you guys this before, but I think it's an interesting little statistic.
I thought we were done.
Since we lost the 70-point game against Miami, at the time they were the number 1 offense, and we were the 32nd offense. Now we were the number 1 defense, and they're the 32nd offense. It's amazing.
Oh, how the turntables have turned.
Yes.
And with the caveat, I'm not making fun.
Very-
If they hadn't lost Tua, that would be a completely different statistic right there. So losing to Tua was pretty rough on that team. But
yeah, rough on my fantasy team with Tyreek Hill as well.
Which, by the way, Gavin, you and I are playing each other.
And Waddle. Oh, cool. Great.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
I don't think I'm going to repeat what I did last week. It just seemed to be such a fluke, but we'll see what happens. So, all right. Well, here's to tomorrow. Oh, predictions.
Yeah.
Any predictions?
We're winning. I
Lose.
think we covered that.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan Cooper's going to get another 4-sack game, and he will continue his streak that he has going this season.
I think Jaleel McLaughlin's going to get the first touchdown.
Okay.
I think Bo Nix will be the best rated quarterback in the NFL this week.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
Let's see
Hey,
how
go
those
big or go
predictions
home,
work
yeah.
I
out.
like it.
I like it. I do like those. All right. Well, I'll make another one. And I did it, and he almost had it. And I swear at some point, and this might be the team to do it, I think Mims is going to run one back for a touchdown.
Let's do it. He's close.
He almost had one.
Yeah.
He was so close in the Raiders game. It was
Leading
unbelievable.
punt returner in the NFL, by the way.
Yeah.
He is. Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I saw
Yeah.
that.
He's not a good receiver. He is a good punt returner.
All right.
Well,
doing
wasn't that primarily his job? Was being punt returner in college. So, all right. Question. Should he start Bo Nix?
I gotta
We'll
go.
find out.
I'll catch you later.
If both your guys are on the bye and Steve leaves, he's like, I'm out. Maybe. I would give
No.
Bo a little time.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
All right. And on that note, I'm out too. Good talking
All right.
to you, Gavin.
See ya. Bye.
See ya. Bye.